Alexander of Macedon by Harold Lamb. Chapter 2, The Riddle of the Earth's Shape. Until after sufficient explorers had climbed it, this mount was seen to be quite ordinarily bare rocks. Then the mythical Mount Olympus was placed, in men's imagination, east of Troy, where some high summits pierced the cloud level. This in turn became known. Now it seemed that men imagined Olympus to lie within the far-off Caucasus, and exploration there, in turn, might reveal only another natural, even if lofty, mountain chain. He did not mention it. He did not mention the word Panisadas. He simply pointed at the garden in which they sat. Here also are the gods. The impulse of life is here as it is elsewhere. But when they were alone, he did say something more. On the unknown, he explained, always seemed mysterious, and on that account both fearful and wonderful. Then he added thoughtfully, and when men are most alone, they hold most closely to myth. As soon as he could get back to his cell, Alexander took a knife and cut up his drawing of the world image into ribbons, ripping them apart in a paroxysm, in a paroxysm, there is no I, in a paroxysm of anger at himself. He labored reasoning. His reaching out towards the unknown had been no more than a child's citadel of sand built in front of his incoming seas. Aristotle had dismissed his Parapanisadas as myth, and the others in Mysa, rumbling of my tumbly is back, and the others in Mysa were laughing at his stupidity, as so often happened. The fury of his self-accusation left him silent and shaken. After that, no one spoke again of the ill-fated Parapanisadas, and the assistants explained that Aristotle wished his eccentric pupil to concentrate upon politics rather than on cosmography. Alexander did that without protest. Well, don't worry, stomach. You'll eat soon enough. There was no meeting ground between the mind of middle-aged scientist intent on his tabulation of natural causes and the young daydreamer stubbornly determined to track down mysteries. Yet pupil and master had mutual respect for the other's capacity to work. Neither one cared to waste time in argument. 4 centuries later, matter-of-fact Roman historians mentioned the violence of Alexander's passion for learning. Yet, even under Aristotle's guidance, he showed no ability to master a single science. He merely gave to his books the same devotion that he had given to the shrine at Pella. Left to himself, he might have become a hermit of the academy, following out a labyrinth of thought. If so, he would have lived longer. Or he might have become a physician, as Philip had intended. It is clear that Philip tried at first to safeguard his visionary son through Aristotle's guidance and the protection of the great commanders of the army. But Philip by then had heard the gossip of Pella, and Philip also had a temper not to be trifled with. Perhaps because of his loneliness and introspection. Perhaps because of his stubbornness at that time. Alexander never forgot and never gave up what affected him closely. Trifles that others passed over stuck in his memory. He kept the annotated copy of Homer close by him. He fed and groomed the black horse, Bucephalus, now fully grown. He practiced the medicine he had learned, and along with the poems he had memorized, he kept the riddle of the mountains that fed the river Nile and his mythical Parapanisatis. He was 16 years old when he plunged into the examination of politics or city rule, his last work under Aristotle's tutoring. The philosophers from Anaxagoras to Plato concentrated upon the problem of designating a perfect state in theory, and that in turn meant to them an ideal city government. Plato had gone so far in his Republic to develop a perfect model, wherein aristocratic thinkers could exist with slave laborers to their mutual